Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And this is a video that I wanted to do. I saw this article, dealing with from ZeroHedge.com, dealing with this whole gas crisis, energy crisis that, I did a video not too long ago, pretty much keep your eyes on this whole gas crisis because a part of this is a big part of the transition. Okay, this is a big part of the transition that that's currently going on, the world transition. So now, as you can see, it says Spain, or as the article reads, Spain bans AC dropping below 80 degrees Fahrenheit, threatens massive fines. Okay? Now, whether this sounds like a big deal to you at first or it doesn't, in instances like this, it's not more so about this very specific instance, but about the precedent that this instance is setting. So where now they're regulating what temperatures your AC can be, and as I read the article, you'll see there's much more. It's not just about your AC temperature. And I always say this, that if they start, like when they start putting these kinds of rules and mandates in place, there has to be some system in order to know, right? How do you know when somebody's AC has dropped below a certain rate, a certain temperature, or how do you know if somebody's following the laws and guidelines you set in place, or if they're not? They need to set measures and systems in place to track that and to measure that, right? And now and a lot of these are going to be invasive and draconian. And then once you've set that up, you need to set up ways to penalize people for this. So this is using a crisis to gain more control in the name of um, necessity, in the name of this is what we have to do in order to avert or to deal with this crisis that we're facing. Now over there I believe it's in Panama. I think it's in Panama. I hope I'm, I think that's where it is. Basically, they said, look, things got so bad, people started protesting and rioting over cost of living. All right. Now that is where the heavy riots are going to come from, because that is not something you can just fix overnight. But that's a problem that people cannot just sleep on it. Right. So they're saying that that's what was going on over there in Panama. Grocery store, grocery food supplies, and all of these things were getting out of hand. And so they decided to put a price cap on how much, grocery supplies and I believe medical supplies can be. That is going to lead to that's the same trend that different civilizations in the past followed, and it did not lead them to a positive outcome. Okay, it led to a collapse. Every action that they take as a means or a precaution to solve or relieve another action leads to worse consequences. So going back to this article, it says here, citing a real risk of a natural gas shortage during the coming winter, the Spanish government has decreed that all shops, department stores, cinemas, hotels, and public buildings cannot have air conditioning set below 27 degrees Celsius, which is just below 81 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer. So in the summertime, your joint got to stay above 81. Shit. It says here, in the summer, heating above 19 degrees in the winter, which is 66 degrees Fahrenheit. So your heater, the temperature for that can't be above 66 degrees Fahrenheit or 19 degrees. 19 degrees. All right. So I believe that's Celsius. So here it is. It's cold as hell. But your joint got to stay right there. You got to stay. You can't go above 66 degrees or you're getting fined. Interesting, huh? So, Salaki, give me 1 second. Second. And this is what they're introducing, and it's not going because it's not just Spain that's facing this problem. Now, I don't need to mention that right now we're entering the second, the second demic with this whole MP situation. So it says, additionally, the lights in shop windows must be turned off at 10 p.m. Now they're regulating the lights. All right. It says the lights in shop windows must be turned off at 10 p.m. and access doors to the premises must close automatically to ensure air does not get out. Businesses have been given 7 days to adjust to the new measures, which will be enforced until November 2023. So this is going to be in effect until ending of next year. Your temperature regulation is going to be regulated. The amount of energy you use is going to be regulated. This is basically steps towards the carbon. They're using climate change and talking about this carbon footprint monitoring and all that. These are very similar steps. They're saying this is for energy, but eventually, it's all gonna lead to that same place. So those draconian measures is looking like this time around they're coming back, harder than the first because there's more. 2019, there wasn't the level of energy crisis and inflation and all these extra um, troubles, famine troubles and food prices rising and recession threats. That wasn't on the level that it is now. This time you have all of these things plus another demic that's looking like is getting in full is getting in effect. What do you think the global economies are going to look like going through this and coming out of this, if they come out of this? All right. Now they're also saying that this MP can the uh, uh uh the MPX or the MP can spread by money. Isn't that interesting, huh? The C they said was able to spread by money as well, dirty money as they call it. Now they can have a greater push because this looks like it's gonna get much more attention, like Auntie Gates said, right? Billy Gates of hell. This looks like it's gonna get much. Is that'll get their attention? Or this one looks like it's gonna get a lot of people's attention because they can see the physical effects on them. So it's looking very interesting. But anyway, it says here, ominously, Euronews reports that the action is extended as a recommendation to Spanish households, meaning it could one day become mandatory, similar to hose pipe bans, and be enforced by fines. There's a video here, but let's see. Maybe in when I'm doing the editing, I might just play this video at the beginning and then start the lesson. But let's see. It says Spain has unveiled a plan to moderate aircon, heating, and lighting in public spaces as part of an EU-wide effort to limit Russian gas imports. Heating will be kept at a maximum of 19 degrees in the winter and a minimum of 27 degrees in the summer, the government said. And that's Celsius. Um, let's see. Right now, perhaps suggested by the heat wave we're experiencing, I would say that 27 degrees will be very hot, said Andrea Castillo, a worker at Castellon University. Perhaps we could work at 25 degrees, but not at 27. Um, the Madrid Hotel Association told the newspaper that the exaggerated and improvised rules may harm tourism. And to make matters worse and even more draconian, the Spanish government will reportedly issue huge fines for non-compliance with energy restrictions prompted by the ongoing energy crisis in Europe. There you go. Okay? There you go. So you can see how this crisis is leading to draconian measures. That's what they do. That's how they introduce these draconian measures. Okay? So 20, let's look at ending of 2022, 2023 and see how, how interesting and how things turn out. So it says here the penalties will range from up to 60, it's either euros or pounds. Yeah, it's one of those. For minor, but 60,000 for minor offenses to a maximum of 600,000 for serious violations. Spanish newspaper El Mundo reported on Tuesday. We cannot afford to lose even a single kilowatt hour, explained Spain's third vice president Teresa Ribera. These actions come after the EU introduced a gas rationing plan last month. Like I told you, whenever the rations come into place, there's going to be rules and restrictions that you need to follow, and there's going to be consequences for not following it. This they're doing for energy, right? What do you think they're going to be doing for food? What do you think they're going to be doing for medical supplies? Once they start saying, "Look, we need to put this in the hands of the government and have them ration it." Now they tell you that, for this sake, we gotta put this, we gotta identify everybody that gets it. You can only get this amount. It's only a matter of time. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much it on that. Now I want to get a quick precept. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, verse 25, because as this is going on, the scriptures say that the prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on, and are destroyed, roughly paraphrasing. So Ezekiel 7 and 25, it says, destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Because destruction is coming. These are the steps. It's coming in steps. It's going to keep on, stepping up and getting more and more drastic, more and more draconian. But it comes in steps, gradualism. Okay, but nevertheless, the destruction is coming, and people are not taking heed. They're not, preparing themselves the right way. And so when it hits, they're going to seek peace. When these hard times hit and you can't get free access to the things that you usually get access to, they're going to be looking for peace. They're going to be looking to go back to the days when they could just go home, open the fridge, and just get whatever. Or order something, from a store, and everything will be good. Verse 26, mischief shall come upon mischief. See? Hell upon hell. One thing on top of another thing. And rumor shall be upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, because that's when they're going to be looking for answers. One thing on top of another thing on top of another thing is so much going on. They're going to be seeking answers. They're going to be seeking, what do we do? What, how do we get out of this? Oh, what was it that you guys were saying? The warnings. I'm ready to listen now. It says, but the law shall perish from the priest and counsel from the ancients. Which the equivalent now would be the places you go to get these answers, you ain't going to get it. They're not going to have it for you. Okay? Because what did the priests do with the law and the counsel from the ancients? They used it to govern the people. To be able to decide on matters that would affect people and what to do in what situations. So in the future, in this instance, the information and the knowledge and the understanding of, what to do, as the scriptures say, there shall be no man left to comfort them. They're not going to have that. Because these people are not going to have understanding of what's going on. The scriptures say that evil shall arise, or mischief shall arise upon thee suddenly, and thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. The powers shall stand in great fear upon seeing the things that are coming upon the earth. So it's going to get out of hand, and it's going to get out of the control of these elites, and the Most High is going to be in full control, as he already is. But they're going to realize that it's not in their power anymore. And they're not going to have answers for you. Verse 27, the king shall mourn, and the prince shall be clothed with desolation, and the hands of the people of the land shall be troubled. I will do unto them after their way, and according to their deserts, which is their conduct or their manner, will I judge them, and they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. So the Most High is going to judge these people, and He's not going to show them mercy because He's going to judge them according to their ways. All right, this is what's coming. So when we do these videos and these articles, these are warnings. These are how, an example of measuring the times, because each article or each update we do on prophecy, you get a measurement on how close we are to the end, how close we are to these things, kicking in, how close we are to Jacob's trouble, how close we are to the hour of temptation. So it's very important that you take heed to these videos and these warnings, and not only knowing how close we are, taking the time to prepare. Because once this thing hits and it gets started and that first domino falls, there's no slowing down and there's no going back. As it says, mischief upon mischief. So you're going to need to be ready. No try to get ready then. You got to be ready. Okay? So anyway, with that, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying and informative to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Until next time, Shalom.